Hello friends, my name is Amanda, welcome to Feeding Artists, and today I'm going to show you how to edit your camera audio. So obviously using camera audio is not going to be your ideal situation, but I understand that not everyone has the money or the resources to be able to have a nicer microphone. So I wanted to make this video so that you can have the skills to edit that camera audio in post-production and make it sound a lot better. That being said, I am going to be using Audacity to edit my audio, which is a free program that you can download. I'll leave a link below so you can easily access that. Just wanted to mention that all of these processes are pretty standard, so if you didn't want to use Audacity, you can pretty much do these exact same things in whatever program you feel comfortable using. And with that, let's get into the video. Okay, so I have a file that I recorded earlier, and I just doubled it up so I can keep this one as my original file and I can compare it a little bit easier. So this is what my original file sounds like. Hey, so this is some camera audio that we're going to be editing today. And as you can hear, it doesn't sound that great, has a lot of background noise, so we're going to make it sound a lot better. So I'm using this bottom one to edit, and the first thing I want to do is to normalize the audio. So I'm going to double click to select all of it, going to go to Effect, then Normalize, and I'm going to normalize this to -6 decibels. And the reason why I'm normalizing specifically to -6 is because if your audio hits 0, it's going to start clipping, it's going to get really distorted, so you don't want that. At 3, it's kind of getting close to the distortion point, but at 6, basically all of your audio is going to be safe and it will be very easy to hear. It's still a pretty loud decibel level. Alright, so our next step, and this is arguably the most important step, is noise reduction. And one thing just before I get into this, noise reduction is one of those things where less is more. If you put too much noise reduction on your clips, your audio is going to sound really tinny. This is something that beginners tend to do a lot because they're so focused on getting the noise out of the clip that they don't focus on the actual audio of them talking. So what you want to do with noise reduction is put enough that there's a difference in the noise and you're not getting as much background noise, but not too much that it compromises the quality of your speech. So noise reduction is a two-part process. You're going to want to take a sample of just your noise. Usually, if you're recording, you should leave a little bit of time in the beginning and at the end, and you can easily take noise from that. And again, we're going to go to Effect, I'm going to go to Noise Reduction, and then Get Noise Profile. And so what this is doing is it's just analyzing the noise that you have selected so that it knows what you want to take out once you go and do your noise reduction process. So I'm going to double click again to select everything, go to Effect, Noise Reduction, and now I'm going to go to Step 2. So what I found is best for this particular clip is noise reduction decibel at 10, sensitivity at 7, frequency smoothing bands also at 7. And this is something you might need to mess around with depending on your clip, but I would say start off with these settings. If you feel like you really need more noise reduction, you can mess with the decibels. Also, sometimes it's good to go through twice with lower amounts of noise reduction. So sometimes I'll go through with, say, my first one at 5 decibels and maybe my second at 3, and sometimes that will give me better results than just doing the one at 10. So that's something to try out as well if you're having issues with noise reduction. But for now, I'm just going to keep it at what I have set. I'm going to press OK. And I'm just going to listen to this right now just to show you the difference between the noise and the noise reduction. Hey, so this is some camera audio that we're going to be editing today. So as you can hear, there is less noise. Some noise still exists, and if you're editing your audio correctly, with camera audio, you should still have some noise. Otherwise, as I said, it's going to affect your actual talking more, and it's going to decrease the quality of your audio overall. All right, so step number 3 is to add EQ to this. So again, we're just going to select everything, go to Effect, Equalization. So your EQ window will probably just start at a flat rate, which means that nothing is brought up or brought down or anything like that. For camera audio, I generally find that it tends to be pretty tinny and a little bit more treble heavy, or if you're using a more expensive microphone, usually there's a lot more bass to it, so that's essentially what I want to do to my audio here. So I'm not a huge fan of the EQ editor in Audacity. I don't like that there seems to be no feature to be able to listen to your audio and EQ it at the same time, so I've kind of gone ahead and made my own audio curve. And I found this audio curve is good for camera audio since it boosts the bass, lowers the treble, and it kind of keeps these random, like, lower values that you're not going to hear at all in human voices to a minimum. This curve will change a little bit depending on your voice, especially in the bass range. If you have a lower voice, you're going to kind of want to just shift everything to the left a little bit. So that would just kind of mean, you know, taking this up, maybe even taking the 80 hertz up a little bit, and then just moving this stuff down. Ooh, hold up. But that's something that you can pretty easily change. So since there are so many little sliders you have to change, I thought it would be kind of cool to make my own preset for this. So I have a link down below if you want to download my Audacity equalization curve preset. It's just this one curve, but it is very good if you need to use camera audio or if you need to just use kind of like a crappy microphone that just doesn't have the same sort of bass response as something of better quality. And so just quickly going over that, if you download it, you will get an XML file. It will probably just be saved to your downloads. You can move it wherever, obviously. And then you're going to go to your equalization window in Audacity, go to Save and Manage Curves, go to Import, and then just find wherever it's located. I just put mine on my desktop, and then press Open. And then that will show up in your presets for your curves. And then you can just go to it whenever you need to edit your audio, and it will be there on your Select Curve options. So normally if you're editing your own audio, you're going to want to go to preview, especially if you're editing someone's voice. I guess that isn't mine because this is kind of optimized for my voice and for my camera. But I know that for me, this is good because I made it specifically for this clip. So I'm just going to press OK. Okay, now just to hear what that sounds like with EQ. Hey, so this is some camera audio that we're going to be editing today. Alright, and now that you have the EQ done, the last step that I'm going to do is compression. So again, we're just going to go to Effect, go to Compressor. And I've set this to kind of my default settings that I normally use just for my regular microphone. One thing to note, this makeup gain for 0 decibels after compressing is probably going to be checked when you first open your box. I have unchecked that because I don't think bringing your audio up to 0 decibels is a good idea. It makes it very easy for it to clip and it just kind of makes it extra loud. Your audio really doesn't need to be that loud. So I always unpress that button. I'm going to press OK. And all that's going to do is bring down audio levels that you have that are a little bit above where they need to be. So it's going to sort of flatten everything out to where it needs to be, if that makes sense. Hey, so this is some camera audio that we're going to be editing today. Hey, so this is some camera audio that we're going to be editing today. So with that, I'm done editing this audio. I think really those 4 steps give me a pretty decent quality of audio. It's definitely a lot better than it started out. And I just wanted to mention that these 4 steps you can apply to editing any audio. They're actually the steps that I use when I edit my audio for these videos, even with my nicer microphone. I just have to adjust the values for the EQ and also the noise reduction to meet my microphone, since it has a very different sonic quality than the camera audio. So I hope this video is helpful to you. If you need to use camera audio or if you need to use any sort of audio source, this is a good workflow to go through. Again, I'll be leaving a link to my free Audacity EQ plugin that you can download if you'd like to in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.